Hey, what's up guys? So today we are going to be talking about the LLM local workspace. Exactly, if you want to start getting your own LLM on your computer, I'm going to give you the easiest, most accessible way to get your LLM already up and going, your AI on your computer, so you can start chatting, feel that experience of what it's like to have your LLM on your computer, fully local, fully yours. So I'm going to be really honest. Many people talk about how these LLMs on your computer, it could be like super rigorous with the GPUs and everything. So we're going to be a little bit realistic here in the fact that this repo right here is going to be explaining about it. So it's going to be more about that. Depending on your computer, it's like running a video game. Some models are going to be super heavy on your machine. Not all computers are going to make it for all models. But me personally, I would rather use the simplest model here to show you how it would be like, because I'm working with the baseline. So if you have a better computer, you can get a better model, you can go faster, but this is like the baseline, the least amount of brain power that you can get from your accessible average laptop model, because this is about being the most realistic thing possible, more accessible, because not everybody's going to have their H100s, not everybody's going to have their gaming rig. So this is to make it accessible for everybody, because tech right now is at a point that we can't make these things happen. So LLM local workspace. This one is for you so that you can actually get the steps. First, we start into downloading the LLM itself, which comes with the GGUF format. GGUFs comes with this type of wrapper for this setup. So right here we have the useful links, the part where you can download this straight from Hugging Face. Now, I added these uncensored, ablated models because it's not that I'm promoting anything, but if you want to have the ask whatever, get whatever experience, it's kind of with this. But also I need to be honest, because obliterated and uncensored versions, they don't have the gateways, the security controls to mitigate their behavior. And this also translates to other things, like for example here, it has a trailing problem that it infinitely loops at the end, doesn't know where to stop. And the other one is that it can be prone to overthinking. Actually, Claude did this to me the other day. Claude thought so hard, it forgot to answer, and it can happen here as well. So those are little behaviors that are classic, but here it's a little bit more common, but it can be fixed with the little flags that we added here. So these really help control and steer your model. So when you're using the public models, those are already polished. They don't have many of these things happening in the back end, but here, don't worry, that's the reality of it. And this is super useful how to navigate to it. So we go to Hugging Face, you make your account, super simple, and then you can just download it. When you download it, you have it aside. Okay, have it here, ready, prepped up. So now we start preparing with the terminal. It's super simple, you don't need to do much. We have this command here for installing Homebrew, the package manager we're going to start with. So come here to terminal, and you run this one, yep. And I also going to be showing the error cases, what happens if you don't do something correctly, so that we can explore and I can seriously get you running right away. So you start with these commands. I'm gonna skip forward here because it's gonna take like a couple of minutes for it to get ready, download. So here it's gonna tell you right away after installing Homebrew, keep in mind that run this part of the terminal command, select from here to here, and voila, you do it like over there. I added this example because if you don't do it, see what happens if you run llama.cpp, it's just going to give you an error. So you first have to mount the root and then you can go there. So like I said, we're including these things in the video so that realistically speaking, you have all the steps, all the failure cases, and we're talking about it so that you can get this going. There's another little moment in this video that's going to be helpful. So yep, now we can continue running without any problems. Yep, the main thing that we need to keep in mind is that all the errors, everything that's going to be showing up, it's live in this video. I want my experience of what I'm doing for you to also see it on your side. That's what we're showing in these YouTube tutorials, all the way from the installation to the result, so that when you are downloading any of the links, any of the things that I share, from the moment you download it to the time you get to use it, you have the full experience and complete over here. So we're ready. Let's continue here. Let's say you have a repo folder, one of the downloads, something simple. Okay, so these are the contents of what the repo comes with. You can download the zip, but right here, what we did is most of the work. We did downloaded the proof, the GGUF, the folder dedicated to where we're going to be starting up this repo. So like I said, you can download the zip here. You don't even need a GitHub for this one. It's not necessary, or CLI or whatever. You just can download the zip, or you can just create a folder and that's it. But we're giving you a little bit of a structure here so that you can know where to start, where to drag. All right, so we drag it here. We have the downloaded GGUF. The GGUF's ready. Yeah, it's just a promo image that I attached here. Perfect. Now that's basically it. Now from here, we are going to be looking for the main prompt, main command. Here it is. That's what we need. For this one, I just advise opening a text edit so you can make sure to edit the lines that we have here. Okay, Command-Shift-T, very important, helpful tip. And now you're gonna replace this with the path where you are saving your GGUFs. So, just okay. Now, how do you get the path? Don't worry if you don't have it enabled. You go over here and press here about showing the paths. It's gonna show up, and you can copy the path, use this, and replace it on this area right here. Yep, just like that. Now, keep in mind, we are ready to go to the terminal, but there was one critical thing. Okay, Command Control C to remove that if you ever get that. Okay, see what happens. There's just one tiny little detail that made all of that happen, and that's what we're discussing here. If you check on the path, there was a tiny minuscule detail that didn't make it run. So let's see what it was. Oh, there was a period, that tiny little thing. So yeah, remember to delete the period when you are going to be copying the path. Now you paste it, and there you go. It's running. It's already letting you load, asking for permissions, and here you go. Now we are going to be visiting the actual container for the chat interface. You visit this link right here. It's all local. Yep, and that's it. That is basically you chatting with the LLM right here. So the interface feels pretty smooth. There's settings, things you can fiddle around, explore, integrations you can use, MCPs, little settings, token spends, developer options. There are quite a few things that the main local wrapper that we're going to be using here, LLM, this is a little bit more delicate than chatting with your ChatGPT, so we cannot expect super much from it, but let's just start with something simple. Something simple. See, here he did not put into any role playing or anything. This is brain assistant, just an assistant. So here also wanted to make a mention about the 5860 tokens per second. That is a proof that that is a good number for a local model in which your computer can successfully run it. This is what I'm getting with an M2 Pro right now. If I would be getting a 9 billion parameters, it's gonna run like around 28 tokens per second, and it gets a little bit, it delays when you want the longer answers. So just know about that. But if you're at 60 tokens per second, that's a good spot, sweet spot, like the FPS of a video game. So in this case, we're just gonna continue testing it, see what's up with that. So can you, exactly. So theoretically, this is a helpful assistant, and the helpful assistant is supposed to sound helpful because that's the main instruction that it has. So I'm just, exactly. Now, conceptually, the AI is executing its function. It's supposed to be helpful and give you helpful answers. And because he couldn't do it himself, he's teaching me how to do it. Technically, if I would have had the MCPs, the AI LLM here would have had the tools to do it. So see, I'm just gonna rephrase that. This is the main thing. This is the main thing right here about how hallucinations work with, which is they are saying something that differs from reality. In this case, it wasn't a blatant lie. It was more about a capability lie, but he really cannot be doing that. So it's important to know what type of tasks are you hoping to get here. Are you looking for information? Are you looking for word processing? Are you looking to do like no-brainer tasks that comes with the polishing of things? like structuring tons of chunky information, mock data, generating things, combinations of things. These are the main big brainer uses for these smallest models. Like, you don't give them a big job that's just out of their reach. You give them the right job for what they can easily do best. So when we are interacting with these, it's very important to have an expectation with your intentions, because realistically it's just very different. So let's try with this one about mock paragraphs. So as you can see here, we are getting different paragraphs that actually made sense. So as word processing engines, I actually had a little bit of a concept here. Let's do too many. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, so this is another very interesting use case right here. See what happens. See, exactly. When you do a long request like this, the AI is doing it, and for them, that's amazing. They're just doing the request. For them, they think they're blazing, but the main issue is that was a very long task for it, and it's a classic AI thing. It starts good, very well at the beginning, and then you see golden, yellow, emerald, green, crimson, red, super cool, but then at the end, it's just repeating the same thing, and that's what I referred to with here, the trailing problem, infinite looping. At the end, sometimes with the tasks are like too big for them. Smaller models, they are willing to do it. Yes, they are gonna sound confident, but if the thing goes very far, you can always update with the settings for it to be briefer, the temperature, creativity levels for that. Top P, we have all these little options so that you can know what works best with the specific model that your computer can run. So we continue that the main point here is that you already have an LLM on your computer, and 2.5 gigabytes with this one, it's like running a small game, and you can ask about it anything. You can generate whatever you want. It's on your computer, local. So yeah, I hope it was useful, because if you thought that in 2026 you were not going to have an LLM on your computer, well, not anymore, because now you can have your own setup. You don't need the expensive stuff, because at this point, like, we are at a level where even the most simple average tier computer can run these models, because the models have upgraded. Even the simplest model is already accessible, even with the strong computers, light computers, and maybe they're not going to be the smartest, but they are useful and you can do creative things with it. So hope this was useful, and well, see ya. Have a nice day.